My roommate's boyfriend moved in, paid nothing, made absurd rules, and now I found out he's been using my credit card. Liv, a 19-year-old art history major, considered herself a fairly laid-back person. She was attending her sophomore year at a small liberal arts college in upstate New York. Living with her roommate, M, a vibrant 20-year-old studying journalism, had been a breeze until it wasn't. They'd been friends since freshman year, bonding over shared classes and a mutual love for overpriced coffee. When their leases were up in the dorms, it seemed only natural to find an apartment together. Their little two-bedroom, affectionately nicknamed the Burrow, was nothing fancy. Thin walls, questionable plumbing, and a persistent draft. But it was their own. Liv, have you met Jake? M gushed one crisp October evening, practically dragging a tall, lanky guy into their cramped living room. Jake, this is Liv, my amazing roommate. Jake flashed a charming, if slightly smug, grin. Pleasure to meet you, Liv. M's told me so much about you. Liv offered a polite smile, immediately picking up on Jake's overconfidence. He sported a well-groomed beard and wore a beanie indoors, which Liv silently judged. He was the type to mansplain art history. She just knew it. At first, Jake was just a frequent visitor. They'd watch movies, order takeout, and generally occupy the common areas, which was fine. Liv was often buried in books or at the campus art studio anyway. But then things started to shift. A toothbrush materialized in the bathroom, followed by a collection of hoodies in the closet. Jake's presence became less of a visit and more of a residency. He was there all the time, hogging the TV, eating their groceries, and leaving a trail of dirty socks in his wake. Liv broached the subject one afternoon, trying to keep her tone light. I love that you and Jake are so close, but he's kind of here all the time. Maybe he could chip in for groceries, or, like, utilities? M bristled. Liv, he's just visiting. It's not a big deal. Besides, it's not like he uses that much electricity. Liv bit back a retort about Jake's all-night gaming sessions. Okay, she said, forcing a smile. Just thought I'd ask. Weeks turned into months, and Jake's freeloading only intensified. Their electricity bill skyrocketed, their pantry was perpetually empty, and Liv's favorite mug mysteriously vanished. She suspected Jake used it for his protein shakes. The last straw was the noise. Jake and his friends would gather in the living room late into the night, their boisterous laughter and video game explosions echoing through the thin walls. Liv, who had an 8 a.m. art history seminar, was perpetually sleep-deprived and irritable. One Saturday morning, after another sleepless night, Liv found Jake sprawled on the couch playing his Xbox. She surveyed the scene: pizza boxes, energy drink cans, and a general atmosphere of frat house chaos. Jake, she said, her voice tight with frustration. Can you guys please keep it down? I'm trying to study. Jake didn't even look up. Chill, Liv. We're almost done. That was it. Liv stormed out of the apartment, vowing to have a serious talk with them. This has to stop, Liv pleaded that evening, cornering her in their tiny kitchen. Jake is basically living here, and it's not fair to me. I signed up to live with you, not you and your boyfriend. Crossed her arms, her expression hardening. Liv, you're overreacting. Jake's just been going through a rough patch. Besides, he's been helping out around the apartment. Helping out? He hung one picture, and he uses more of my stuff than I do. He ate the last of my cereal that I was saving, Liv exclaimed. Okay, I will talk to him about contributing to groceries and such, offered. Liv thought that was the end of it, but oh no, it got much worse than that. Then came the ultimatum. Liv was in the kitchen making herself lunch when Jake walked in to grab a beer from the fridge. He casually said, "Since I'm basically living here already, I was thinking of moving in permanently." Liv was taken aback by his comment. I'm not sure about that. Then, fast forward to a week later, Liv was about to go to the library to study with some friends when Jake cornered her. Liv, I have been doing some thinking, and I'd be willing to move in, but only on one condition. Oh yeah? What's that? Liv replied with uncertainty. Jake started to lay out his rules. First, you need to respect my gaming time and make sure that the Wi-Fi is free for me to use when I am streaming. Second, you cannot have any of your male friends over, and I want you to start doing your fair share of the cooking and cleaning. Liv was livid. Are you serious? I cook and clean just as much as you and Em. I will not let you disrespect me like that. And one last thing, Jake continued. You need to ask me for permission to invite your friends over. Absolutely not. You are delusional if you think that is going to happen. Liv scoffed and headed to her car. The next day, Liv was approached by M. So, Jake told me about your conversation, and I am appalled at how you treated him. He was just trying to see if you would be a good roommate. I am siding with him on this one. After hearing that, Liv was at a loss for words. M was choosing Jake over her. Okay, well, you are going to have to choose between him and me because I cannot do this anymore, Liv exclaimed with tears in her eyes. Liv decided enough was enough and made a post on Reddit. AITA for not wanting my roommate's boyfriend to move in after he gave me a list of rules. I, 19F, live with my roommate, 20F, in a small 2-bedroom apartment near our college campus. We've been friends since freshman year, but things have been rocky ever since she started dating Jake, 22. Jake is over all the time, doesn't pay rent, and makes a mess. I finally told my roommate that Jake needs to either start paying his share or stop practically living here. She told him, and now he is mad and made up a list of rules for me if he were to move in. I don't want him to move in at all and think this is completely unfair. AITA for refusing to let him move in after his ridiculous test and for wanting him to pay his fair share if he's going to be here all the time. Update 1. Hi Reddit. I wanted to thank everyone for your amazing feedback on my last post. It seems like you all agree that Jake is a freeloader and that I am NTA. I have been taking your advice and have started to set some boundaries with Jake. I spoke with my friend the other day, and she offered to let me sleep at her apartment if things get really bad. Jake has been doing some petty things around the house, such as using my stuff, and I even caught him the other day reading my diary. It's like he is trying to get to me. And I haven't spoken much, but from what I can tell, she is still choosing Jake over our friendship. I am contacting the landlord today to see what my options are. I will keep you all updated. Thanks again for the support. Update 2. Hi Reddit. I wanted to let you all know that I finally got a hold of the landlord the other day. I explained to him what was going on, and he was furious. He stated that Jake was in violation of the lease agreement and that he was going to send a notice to M stating that he had to leave. I also wanted to let you all know that I found out Jake had been using my credit card. The other day, I was checking my bank statements and noticed some unfamiliar purchases. I confronted M about it, and she immediately started crying. She told me that Jake had been pressuring her into giving him my card information. I don't know why she would do such a thing. She knows I am short on money as is. I will keep you all updated on what happens next. Update 3. Hi Reddit. I wanted to let you all know that Jake is gone. The landlord came by and served M with the notice, and Jake was immediately escorted out of the apartment. I was so relieved. I thought that was going to be the end of it, but M started crying hysterically, asking me why I would do such a thing. I explained to her that it was nothing personal and that Jake was in violation of our agreement. I also told her that I found out he had been using my credit card and that I was going to be pressing charges. She just looked at me with shock. Long story short, M has finally come to her senses and apologized. She said that she was blinded by love and that she realized that Jake was a terrible person. She has since broken up with him, and we are now working on repairing our friendship. I wanted to thank you all for your support through this tough time. It means the world to me. Liv, I'm so sorry. M sobbed a few days later, her eyes red and puffy. I was so stupid. Jake completely manipulated me. He was using me, using our apartment, using you. Liv sighed, a wave of exhaustion washing over her. I know, Em. It's okay. What matters is that you see it now. In the aftermath, there was a lot of rebuilding to do. Liv helped Em file a police report about the credit card fraud. They reorganized the apartment, reclaiming their shared space. They even had a cleansing ritual, burning incense and sage to banish Jake's lingering energy. So, Liv said tentatively one evening as they were painting the living room a cheerful shade of yellow. Are we good? Em smiled, a genuine, heartfelt smile. Yeah, Liv, we're good. I promise no more Jake-like figures in our lives. Liv returned the smile, a weight lifting from her shoulders. The burrow, once a battleground, was finally becoming a home again. A few months later, Liv, I need your honest opinion, Em said, holding up a picture on her phone. This guy from my journalism class asked me out. What do you think? Liv squinted at the photo. He seems nice, Em. But if he starts leaving his socks on the floor, I'm calling the landlord. Em laughed, a light, carefree laugh. Deal. The weeks that followed Jake's departure were a period of quiet healing. The apartment felt lighter, brighter. The ever-present tension had dissipated, replaced by a sense of relief. Liv and Em tiptoed around each other at first, unsure how to navigate their rekindled friendship. Liv found herself being more patient, understanding. She knew Em was grappling with guilt and embarrassment, and she didn't want to pile on. Instead, she focused on small gestures, making Em's favorite tea, watching a cheesy rom-com together, offering a listening ear when Em needed to vent. One evening, Liv came home to find Em meticulously cleaning the bathroom, scrubbing with a vengeance. "Rough day?" Liv asked gently. Em sighed, wiping her brow. "You have no idea. I ran into Jake on campus today. He tried to talk to me, said he was sorry, but it was all about him, how hard he had it. It was sickening." Liv leaned against the door frame. "Good for you for not falling for it." "Thanks," Em said softly. "It's thanks to you that I didn't. You were right all along, Liv. I just didn't want to admit it." "Hey," Liv said, walking over and giving him a hug. "We all make mistakes. The important thing is that we learn from them." As time went on, their friendship began to resemble its former self. They started having their traditional girls' nights, complete with face masks, bad reality TV, and endless gossip. They rediscovered their shared love for thrifting, spending hours scouring vintage shops for hidden treasures. One rainy afternoon, they stumbled upon a small antique store tucked away on a side street. Inside, they found a beautiful hand-painted ceramic mug intricately decorated with flowers. "This would be perfect for you," Em said, holding up the mug. "Remember how much you loved that one Jake broke?" Liv smiled, her heart swelling with warmth. "It's beautiful, Em. Thanks." That night, as Liv sipped tea from her new mug, she realized that something had fundamentally shifted. The Burrow wasn't just a place to live anymore. It was a sanctuary, a haven where she felt safe, loved, and supported. As their lease renewal approached, Liv felt a knot of anxiety tighten in her stomach. The thought of committing to another year in the Burrow was terrifying after everything that had happened. She voiced her concerns to Em one evening over dinner. "Em, I don't know if I can do this. I love you, but the thought of reliving that whole Jake nightmare makes me want to run for the hills." Em reached across the table and took Liv's hand. "Liv, I understand, and if you want to move out, I won't be mad. But I really want us to stay together. I promise things will be different this time." Liv looked into Em's eyes, searching for any sign of hesitation or doubt, but all she saw was sincerity. "Okay," Liv said, her voice trembling slightly. "Let's do it. Let's renew the lease." They signed the papers together, a sense of cautious optimism filling the room. They both knew that the future was uncertain, but they were determined to face it together as friends. A year later, a year passed, and the Burrow became a haven of creativity, laughter, and genuine companionship. Liv and Em flourished both in their personal lives and academic pursuits. They supported each other through late-night study sessions, internship applications, and the occasional heartbreak. One crisp autumn evening, as Liv was putting the finishing touches on a new painting, Em burst into the apartment, her eyes sparkling. "Liv, guess what?" she exclaimed. "I got the internship at the New York Times." Liv dropped her paintbrush and rushed to hug Em. "Oh my God, Em. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you. I couldn't have done it without you, Liv," Em said, her voice thick with emotion. "You've been the best friend anyone could ask for." They spent the rest of the evening celebrating, dancing to their favorite music, and reminiscing about their wild journey together. They had faced a storm and emerged stronger, wiser, and more deeply connected than ever before. As Liv looked around their cozy apartment, she realized that the Burrow wasn't just a place. It was a testament to their resilience, their forgiveness, and the enduring power of friendship. And she knew with unwavering certainty that they could face whatever challenges lay ahead as long as they had each other. Final Reddit update. It's been a year. We renewed our lease, and I wanted to thank you all. Hey Reddit, remember my post about my freeloader roommate's boyfriend and all the drama that ensued? Well, a year has passed, and I wanted to give you all a final update. First of all, thank you. Thank you for your advice, your support, and your virtual shoulders to cry on. You helped me see through the gaslighting and realize that I deserve better. Things are amazing now. My roommate, Em, completely turned things around. She broke up with the freeloader boyfriend, Jake, and we worked hard to rebuild our friendship. We just renewed our lease, and the Burrow feels like a real home again. We're both thriving in our studies and are excited about the future. To anyone going through a similar situation, don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Set boundaries, seek support, and remember that you deserve to live in a safe, respectful environment. And to my Reddit community, thank you for everything. You truly changed my life. Years later, Liv and Em stood side by side, as Em prepared to move to New York for her dream job at the Times. "I can't believe we made it," Em said, looking around the borough one last time. "We survived the freeloader, the ultimatum, and everything in between." Liv smiled. "We did, and we're stronger because of it." As Em hugged Liv goodbye, a sense of bittersweetness filled the air. They knew that their lives were heading in different directions, but their friendship would endure no matter the distance. "I'll miss you, Liv," Em said, her voice thick with emotion. "I'll miss you too, Em," Liv replied. "But we'll always have the borough." And in their hearts, they knew it was true. The borough would forever hold a special place in their memories, a symbol of their shared journey, their unwavering friendship, and the triumphant way they had overcome adversity.